Good afternoon. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people.
Breaking news, the FOMC meeting took place today. Fed Chair Jerome Powell made an interesting announcement shortly after. The news is this: the Federal Reserve leaves interest rates unchanged.
Despite elevated uncertainty, the economy is in a solid position. The unemployment rate remains low, and the labor market is at or near maximum employment. Inflation has come down a great deal, but has been running somewhat above our 2% longer-run objective. In support of our goals, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged. We believe that the current stance of monetary policy leaves us well-positioned to respond in a timely way to potential economic developments.
The next FOMC meetings this year where the Fed could possibly cut rates are July 29th and 30th, September 16th and 17th, October 28th through 29th, and December 9th and 10th. Rate cuts would create a risk-on environment and historically send crypto prices flying higher. Needless to say, President Donald Trump, who's a big crypto advocate, was not happy about today's decision.
Too late. I call him Too Late Powell because he's always too late. I mean, if you look at him, every time I did this, I was right 100%. He was wrong. Maybe I should go to the Fed. Am I allowed to appoint myself, Doug? I don't know. Am I allowed to appoint myself at the Fed? I do a much better job than these people. So anyway, we should be 2 points lower. It'd be nice to be 2.5 points lower. We'd be saving $800 billion, $700 billion. That's a lot of money, right? Think of it for nothing, for absolutely nothing. We'd save $800 billion. We have, I think we're 38th now in interest, and we should be number one. We should be the lowest.
Reminder, you can make money in crypto whether the market is going up or down by trading. BitUnex is a crypto exchange I like. Buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency here, long or short crypto, no KYC. Use code Altcoin Daily for up to $8,000 immediately in trading bonuses. Look, Bitcoin is consolidating at $103,000 today, tampered down by the Iran-Israel conflict and the still lingering tariff uncertainty. I agree with this analyst. I think, just like Mel Madison, investor, author, and former fintech executive with 20 plus years in the biz, people are going to look back at Bitcoin at these prices, just like they look back at Bitcoin around $50,000 and say, man, I should have been buying here.
People are going to look back at 110,000 Bitcoin, just like they look back at 50,000 Bitcoin or 30,000 Bitcoin and say, man, I should have been buying there. We've broken over the high set, a few months ago. I think that's now clearly, a floor, support. And, I think the next upside target for me has always been that 150 range, which I think, I've been thinking 120 this month. 150 is my call by the end of the year. But really, that's like a base case based on technical analysis I do that is a point where I reassess. And when I reassess it, I have a feeling like I'm going to pretty quickly come out with the target around 195 as like a next upside target. And, we'll see when we get there.
The good news is that Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent continues to signal how positive he is, President Trump is, and America at large is on the whole crypto industry. Here, he corrects the interviewing, assuring her crypto is not a threat to the dollar. Digital assets are one of the most important phenomena in the world right now.
Crypto, that seems to be a threat to the dollar, doesn't it?
I think it's the opposite.
Oh, really?
I think stable coins could reinforce dollar supremacy, because with stable coins could end up being one of the largest buyers of U.S. treasuries or T-bills.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, if you are using a stable coin in Nigeria that's backed by the US dollar, you don't actually have to have dollars. It's on your phone. You can transact. So I think there's a very good chance that crypto is actually one of the things that locks in dollar supremacy.
And is that why it was crucial that Donald Trump get involved in crypto rather than trying to constrain it like Joe Biden was?
I think constrain's too mild a word. I think make it extinct.
Oh,
So this administration's commitment to digital assets, it's innovation because there's so many other things that happen around digital assets. And also, it's one of those things that it's one of the most important phenomena that's happening in the world, and the U.S. just ignored it.
Of course, Scott Bessent was touting a recent win, the Stablecoin Bill, that passed the Senate and now makes its way to the House. President Trump is hungry to sign this legislation and make this an official act of American policy, so it seems very likely that the U.S. Stablecoin Bill will be passed very soon, and Coinbase Chief Policy Officer says that the U.S. adopting pro-stablecoin policy will be such a huge tech advancement for our country. When this officially passes, it will be a night and day difference.
Explain to viewers what the industry you think can now do, at least more confidently with this in their pocket.
We have a payment system in the United States that's basically built on 20th century technology. And so think of it as though we're in 1990 and we're talking about the internet and its potential to speed up communication. It's the same sort of thing. With crypto-based payments, you can do instant transfers. You can move money within seconds cross-border rather than it taking 7 days or more and costing enormous amounts of money. So we're on the verge of a payments revolution, and blockchain technology is going to facilitate that.
And the stablecoin market is exploding on this news right now. Take a look at these bullish charts as reported by CoinDesk.
The total market cap of USD peg stables has now climbed past $250 billion, setting a new all-time high. That's much more than just a bounce back from the post-2022 slowdown we saw. It's a very vivid signal that stablecoin growth is picking up again. Looking at the chart, we've seen the steady increase in supply since the start of 2024, but 2025 has taken that to a whole new level.
And of course, another reason why this passing in the Senate is so bullish for the cryptocurrency industry as a whole is because after this comes the Market Structure Clarity Bill. And the Stablecoin Bill passing now means that the Market Structure Clarity Bill is coming sooner rather than later.
There's a critical second piece to what crypto innovation needs, which is market structure legislation. So our hope is now that the Senate has moved on stablecoins, we'll get similar action on market structure, and we'll be able to get a comprehensive regulatory framework in place, which I think would be great for consumers and innovators at the same time.
Look, guys, wars cost money. This is just another reason why the Fed is going to have to turn the money printer on, like we're seeing so many countries around the world, and the US has done plenty of times before, turn the money printer on. And remember, as Michael Saylor describes here, the first nation to print their own currency to buy Bitcoin wins.
And the first nation to print money, the first nation to print their own currency to buy Bitcoin wins, right? Like, look what MicroStrategy did. We basically issue our own currency, our stock, and we buy Bitcoin. What happened? We went from $1 billion to $100 billion market cap is what happened. Is it inflation? It's only inflation if you print the currency to invest, to make a bad investment, right? If you print the currency to buy something that's appreciating faster than your inflation rate, it's actually accretion.
And remember, and this is only to the world leaders listening now. I know we have quite a few world leaders listening, tuning in from around the world. There's only room for one nation state to buy up 20% of the Bitcoin supply. Michael Saylor thinks it's going to be the US, but it could be anybody.
There's only room for one nation state to buy up 20% of the network. And obviously, I think it should be the United States. I think it will be the United States. It's a way for us to enrich ourselves and emerge as a creditor nation in a matter of a decade. It's also a way for us to ensure that we're the economic leaders in cyberspace and the digital economy for the next 100 years. And if we do that, every one of our allies will follow us, and then all of our enemies will end up having to buy into the network once it passes 10 or 20 million a coin, and they will enrich us.
My name is Aaron. This is Altcoin Daily. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for daily videos, keeping you informed. If you're interested in making money in crypto, make sure you check out our BitUnex or FEMX linked below, or even Bybit. 30,000 in trading bonuses, 30,000 in trading bonuses, 8,000 in trading bonuses. I trade on all of these exchanges. These are the ones I recommend.